Yes. Now, you were absolutely like meticulous and you were dedicated. This had to be done in Australia.
Yep.
It had to be made in Australia.
Yep.
Why?
There are a few reasons. I'll start with the you know, I'm a mum. I have a son. I have family. So producing here in Australia creates more opportunities for the people around us that we love. So the more we take offshore, the less we have here in Australia to offer jobs, to add to the economy and to make us a buoyant country. So making Australian made, that was one of my big points over here, and not one is ahead of the other in the reasons why I chose Australian made. Mm-hmm. So there is contributing to the economy, the future, and families and decades to come of people getting jobs, you know, hiring people like, you know, I hire, I'm really adamant about helping some single mums that work for us, things like that, right? Mm-hmm. So they can work within their school hours, that, you know, their kids come first. So there's all those reasons why I do that. The other, we know what goes into it. We know how it's formulated. We know how it's made. We register every batch number that's made. So if there was any problem, we can have a look. We can have a look at everything. We can control it. Now, there is some really big swapping out of ingredients in China going on, okay? So you're paying for one thing, they're swapping it out. There is no proof, and we'll get to that Kmart, what goes on, the Kmart disaster. But you can't, unless you're going to stay in the factory in China, you can't really prove what they put in that. I don't care what they tell you. You can't prove unless you're going to stand there and watch every ingredients go into that and then everything go into the bottle. It's a big trust thing. And how well do you trust that?
Yeah. But also, I didn't know, you were the first to tell me, well, you were the first to really give me the understanding. You know how most, and Aussies, we're all the same. Probably people listening to this is the same. We see the triangle. Well, we've got the gold triangle. We're one of the only ones who've got the gold triangle.
Yes.
Not just the green one. But then that later formed into that we're actually one of the most stringent manufacturing quality assurance. We're actually one of the most difficult standards to meet.
Yes.
So not just only do you get a chance to jobs, and where it all started off with the feel good, speed up to 2025 and it's like, oh my God, we rest easy at nighttime knowing full well because of the level of standard we have to appear to every single time you want to put a product out to say that's Australian made and put that little triangle on it.
Yep.
You were the first one to actually tell me how brutal it is to get that stamp.
It is, and it is, and so it should be. Like you want to know and trust that your product. So not everybody wants to know all the background of everything, right? They just want to know that it's backed by science. They want to know that it's backed by integrity. They want to know that they're protected and trusted. But know that we take care of all that in the background so that you don't have to worry about it. And that's what that triangle does for us. They come into it. So what happened back in the day is you could get the Australian made logo and then you had it for life. That's not a thing anymore. Okay, Every year they come back into the warehouse, they come back into our manufacturing, and they make sure that we are still producing and bottling right here in this country. Because what happened was you'd get your trademark, so you get your mark, and then they bring it in vats.
Oh, you're saying that?
And refill it, right? So
they bring it in pre-mixed out, mix it here, and technically get their I'm Australian made and owned and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Well, you can't do that.
And that's not what you're putting on your face.
Every year you get recertified. Every year. So, and I want everyone to know that with the Australian Made campaign. They are wonderful. They are such great partners. Finally, the government's giving them some more support. I think they've given them 20 million for the next 5 years to support it. But it needs more than that. Like government, come on, mate. Like this is important to keep manufacturing in this country. It is important for every...
Well, now we're realising it.
For every reason.
Now we're realising it. Everyone's just like, oh, they've only heard the T word for the first time. And now everyone's realising going, oh, now everyone's back pocket's actually aware of it. But you've been aware of it, of how much it's actually meant and what... Because I don't think people they just sort of had that idea that the little triangle was a feel-good thing. Not necessarily going, oh, my God, you don't actually understand the tentacles that come off that triangle.
Yep. Tentacles of everything.
Yeah.
And it's everything. It's money, it's integrity, it's trust, it's knowing you're safe, like knowing your skin is safe or whatever it is that you're buying that's Australian made, knowing that that's gone through its paces. and that every year they can't just shove it offshore. Every year it's still then recertified here in this country.
It's a bit of a screener too, right? So if you're going to put your neck on the line to even apply for one, because there's a lot of products on the shelf, you know, not downplaying anything of people actually legitimately doing it here in Australia. But to go that next step, to get the triangle, you're really putting yourself out there. It's sort of like put Australia made out on your product is one thing, but to get the triangle, that's you're committing yourself to a whole nother, a third party.
A third party.
Yeah.
Yep, you are.
Coming in and scrutinising you.
That's exactly right. And they check who your contract manufacturers are and all those kinds of things. They check. So they've got to be certified too.
Yeah.
So, and the same with like anything to do with Therapeutic Goods Association or if it's organic, they've got to be registered, things like that. So you know that the people we choose as our partners are as ethical as we are. Now, I am absolutely sick to death of seeing Australian made written on a box. It means absolutely nothing to me. I won't buy it. There is why wouldn't you get your certification? There's obviously something to hide. Australian made, go get your certification. Support the country, support your brand, let consumers know what they're buying. It is important for our future to make sure that we are protecting what we've got.